My name is Greer Mullin, and I'm a third-year graphic design student at St. Lawrence College. I have a real interest in working in social good design and educational design systems. So I forged a relationship with Planetara back in semester 1. I spoke to them saying, we're doing this capstone project, we're trying to find a human-based design solution to a problem, and I'm wondering if you have any projects that need some attention from a designer. And I was directed towards a project in Nepal that they have set up called the Sisterhood of the Survivors. It's called Sasane in Nepal, and they are a school that provides educational opportunities for women who have been extricated from the human trafficking industry, which is a really big problem in that part of Asia. It was clear that they really could use some design to really amplify the work that they were doing. Yes, I did face a lot of challenges with distance. When I started out, I had all these sort of zany ideas of what I wanted to do with them. Just because of physically being separated from the staff and from the school and from the students and the space and the environment and the culture, I had to kind of scale back my harebrained ideas. I just had to really kind of break it down into a solution that could really help give them some immediate benefit. And find a way to do that and remain true to the spirit of what the capstone project was. And I identified that probably one of the big problems is that they didn't have much branding to speak of. Like, they're very grassroots, and they had a logo on their website, but it was very generic and didn't really represent what they do, didn't represent their students, and didn't really communicate well with the people that they're trying to appeal to, inspired to donate to their cause. So I decided to do a redesign of both those things. The branding was really hard because I got caught up in, is this something that they are going to identify with, or is this just kind of from my own Western perspective, my own bias? Through my research, I determined that Sasane's brand values are empowerment, strength, dignity, education, and justice. Oh, so many, it took so long to get here, and because one of the problems was that they needed a logo type that was in Nepali script as well as in English. So I ended up creating this concept of something that's been broken and put back together. So that's why I created this fractured flower. And the flower is modeled after this plant in Nepal that blooms in extremely cold weather. And I thought that was a great metaphor for the idea of survival and female power. Their website never really had any design. It looked like it was just kind of put together an outsourced development company that, the design wasn't really considered. It was just like, let's put this content online, right? So one of my bigger goals was to see if I could create this feeling of trust between user and website. A big part of the problem was kind of figuring out, what the problems were with the site and how to restructure all their content. So I ended up working with one of Sasane's interns that actually stays in Kathmandu there and helps them, and she ended up being a really good asset to help me kind of get some of this content polished. They're really happy with it. I think they weren't expecting, what they got, and it felt really great. They really were happy. They've contracted me for the summer to actually build this site. So I need to recruit some developers to help me get this thing off the ground. This project really solidified for me how I feel about design and how I know that this is what I'm meant to do, because it was so hard for so long, and I felt like I was in the dark for so long trying to get to the meat of what the problem was, and being able to kind of stick it through to completion, and then having a product that the client really loved and worked well was just so, it's one of my favorite feelings in the whole world.